Hey, we're back, or we're back. Welcome back to the Defluence Podcast. I'm Uncle Bonehead, and with me, as always, is the distinguished author, Mister.
Alan Taylor, the extinguished author. Yes.
The extinguished author. I forgot about that. And the little giggle you hear in the background there. Today, we got a special guest, Mister Kencode has returned.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
The return of kencode.
What's up?
We're here to talk about the importance of. How'd you word that?
Oh man, there's so much stuff wrapped around that. RSS is the big deal, though. I think.
Oh yeah, RSS. The importance. I can't remember how you worded it earlier.
You know what? I had a whole bunch of points on there, and then I keep forgetting them because so many other things keep popping up. Like, why are we building these things? Oh, that's right, freedom.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
There we go. We're going to talk about HiveCast, the Fediverse, the importance of syndication, running a profitable company, being unstoppable, no ads, censorship, no KYC. In other words, Web3 in a nutshell.
Yeah. Like, what
Right
is
on.
that? Alan, you've got to be really good at this stuff too. I mean, what if you had to give an elevator pitch, 10 seconds or less? What is Web3? What would you tell my grandma?
Web3 is the ability to control your own content production and distribution.
That's pretty good.
There's
That
more
is
to it
very
than
good.
that, but that was off the top of my head.
I'm kind
And
of
also,
in the same boat on that. Yeah, it's freedom, but all the things that we have kind of grown to despise over the last, I don't know, 3, 5, 8 years or so, I guess, about the current internet, the way it is, the cool way that it used to be, and like what we would like to actually see come of the internet. You want to be unstoppable, like Bonehead, what you just said about that. You want to be unstoppable.
Absolutely.
If you're putting up some kind of like quote unquote objectionable content or whatever like that, how easy is it for me to take your site down? If I'm going to black hat your whole server or your DMARC or whatever, your whole freaking system, how would I do it? And this has been like a big concern. I mean, people refer to me as tinfoil Ken for a reason because I'm always thinking about this stuff, Like, dude, if you're going to build something, see, here's the thing, like the businesses that I've built in the past, when you start to get a little bit successful, you're going to get attacked. You're whether it be by the government or by a competitor or whatever, you're going to be attacked in one way or another. That's guaranteed. It happens every
there's
single
always
time.
going to be somebody who doesn't like what you're doing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And what are the attack vectors? What are they going to go after? And if they can't attack your site or whatever, or your app or whatever, they're going to go after your name. They're going to go after what technology you're using. Oh, you're on Ethereum. You're a fucking idiot. And they're just doing stuff like, well, whatever, man. Look, I'm trying to pick the best technologies that are out there. To build what we need to build it fast. I mean, everything that we need for like real Web3 already exists.
Yes,
and it's free.
Does.
It's open source, man. Just fork that repo and do your own thing with it. This is the beauty of open source.
Yeah, it's like that app that me and Flynn was talking about a lot. The
Mercado Maestro,
yeah, Huddle 01. It's a great app. Absolutely awesome. It's on GitHub. They present themselves as being open source, invite people to build on top of it, this, that, and the other. And I got to questioning it because there's no mentioning of the licensing anywhere on GitHub, only on a couple of different repos. And I questioned it about them, and 2 weeks it took them to answer, no, it's not open source. It's like,
he was avoiding the question.
Yeah. It's like, well, there you go. You're not Web3. Even though you say you're Web3, you're not Web3.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Did you continue that conversation with him? Like, well,
No.
why isn't it Web3 yet? Why isn't, or I mean, open
Well,
sourced?
well, they say it's Web3, but once they said that, I was like, nope, I left the server.
Are they operating on venture capital?
Yep.
That's a big one.
Oh well,
Yeah,
there's
we're
agenda
Web3,
there.
but we'll take your money and let you tell us how to do our business.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
Flynn was heartbroken. I thought
yeah,
I could hear him crying through the interwebs.
yeah, for sure. Well, you find something cool, and then you find out something like that, and it's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, this is actually one of the reasons why I left GitHub.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, GitHub has been great. I really have no complaints about their UI, their UX, or anything like that. But at some point, why wouldn't they start shutting down people's? I mean, maybe they already have. I don't know. But why would they start shutting down people's accounts? Because they're developing things that are go against the grain, so to speak.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
So I
Microsoft
don't want
owns
to have to
GitHub.
worry. It's just one less stress too. That I have enough stress as it is, but having to worry about whether some third party is going to just be able to take down my content whenever they want. Like, man, I can't live like that. So nowadays you got Gogs and Git.ea and Forjo and all these other self-hosting Git repo platforms.
Yep.
And it's just great because it's like, okay, well, now the only way you can take us down is to actually take down our server. And
Yeah.
that's getting harder and harder now as we, syndicate out to more seeder nodes and stuff
Well,
like
yeah,
that
and
too.
if you're decentralized, well, you got to take down all 1,000 of my servers.
Exactly. I mean, our servers, like at a minimum, we're spread across 3 continents. So if you try to take down one of our HiveTube sites or something like that, you're going to have to take down a lot more than just one network center. You know what I mean? You're going to have to take down a whole bunch of seeders as well. Just like that's why I made that post about Napster not too long ago, because Napster, if you guys remember, was like that. Oh man, that just blew my mind when I started thinking about what I can do with that kind of technology. If
Yeah.
you want to put something up on the internet, IPFS has this same problem. If there's nobody seeding it anymore, then it disappears from the internet. Well, how do you make that permanent? How do you make it so that at least one is always going to be up there? Well, you got to incentivize them. And how do you do that? Well, most of these companies are relying on banks and VCs and other ways of incentivizing people for running additional nodes and all that. But in Web3, that needs to be automated. The middleman has to be removed.
Right.
So if you're going to run a mid-IO seed node for us, it's going to be automated so that a certain amount of highback dollars automatically gets sent to you and pays for that hosting service. I mean, hosting is actually pretty cheap. We do a lot of hosting services at Agorise as well. So, and we just started offering witness nodes and stuff like that too that can't be taken down though. And if you're not able to produce a block every 3 seconds, then your server just isn't ready to be a witness node either, or even an API node. So it's like we got to have a solid infrastructure if we expect to be unstoppable, as we like to say. So
Yep.
but
Be
then
ungovernable.
that's when the RSS stuff comes in, because it's not just being unstoppable. You have to be syndicating the content and in a free way, with automatic monetization for everybody. So anyway,
Yeah,
I keep going off on all these tangents, but
RSS has kind of gone out of fashion. It used to be a big
yeah,
deal.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
I think what killed it was when Google bought what was it? Fire.
Fire
yeah.
What was
chat.
the big RSS service? It was independent, and then Google bought it.
Oh, feed reader.
Yeah, Feed Reader.
Oh yeah.
And Google bought it, and then it kind of RSS disappeared. I mean,
Yeah, they wanted to create a walled garden, get everybody to using their stuff. And I mean, admittedly, that's how I got sucked into Google products too. Probably like most people, they put all this really cool stuff up there, like Docs. Google Docs is outstanding. The UI and the UX on Docs is just
Yeah,
really, it's still unmatched in my opinion.
it works great.
Yeah.
I use it every day for work.
Yeah, I really like it, but I've tried not to use it. We have our own Nextcloud server with only Office running on it, which I don't know. I mean, the UI is pretty archaic. It really kind of sucks actually, but it's, as far as I know, it's the best thing out there as far as having an open source, host your own federated platform for documents and spreadsheets and stuff like that. So
Now
yeah,
the
but
RSS thing, back to that. And for those that are listening and don't know what RSS is, you youngsters out there, you stay off my RSS. No, the RSS stands for really simple syndication, and what that is instead of you going to a website or a blog or a podcast or whatever to get the latest information from them, it automatically pulls it to you. So that's why you've got RSS feed readers, RSS aggregators, RSS apps. All of your podcast apps are based on RSS.
yep.
The whole idea of podcasts is RSS, and it was back in the old days. Adam Curry from MTV, and it wasn't John Dvorak. It was, can't remember his name. Anyways, Adam Curry was the first one that figured out you can attach an audio file to RSS, and that's how podcasting was born. Nowadays, all these big tech companies.
Pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. All of these big tech companies, Google, Apple, Spotify, they're wanting to get rid of RSS because they want you to be locked into their platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not just the creator, but the
listener.
consumer too. That's
Yeah.
why you see Spotify doing these, like with Joe Rogan doing the exclusive podcast deals. That's the only place you can get his podcast is on Spotify. You can't get it on
pathetic.
Apple. So that was, if you notice, when Spotify first bought Anchor, the very first thing they did was they announced that they were killing the outside RSS syndication. And the users all flipped out on them about it, and they rescinded on it. But what they started doing was all new users, you couldn't get your RSS. They wouldn't tell you what your RSS feed was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. They don't really want you to go outside of their silo
Yep.
to get what you want.
Yep. Because they want your money and they want your traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, and how do they do that through all these ads too? I mean, this is just another beauty of RSS is I don't have to go to 30 different websites to get to just the content that I want.
Yep.
I can just use an RSS reader,
and it comes
like
to
HiveCast, for example.
Yes,
but it gets to any stream that I want. And I mean, for those who don't know, an aggregator, it's just aggregating. It's pulling in just the content that you actually consume. So if today I just want to read an ebook, or tomorrow I just want to watch.
You mean there's no algorithm?
Yeah, exactly. Guys, it's just a text file. That's what I love about RSS. It's really simple syndication.
Yep.
This is what's so cool about it. It's just what I'm asking for, not a bunch of other stuff like, and ads. Holy crap, man. The ads have just gotten insane on all these platforms, even platforms that are calling themselves, we're Web3 and blah, blah. No, you're not. You're not even close, man. And now you want to add ads? Well, here's the thing, like Library. I loved Library when it came out. And then they became Odyssey and whatever. Well, then they started adding all these ads.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? This is just indicative of a platform that's going down. They're hurting for money. And then they got attacked by the SEC because of their coin or whatever. It was a security or not. I don't remember. I don't know. But the point is, as soon as you add ads, or you want to become like an everything app or whatever, in other words, you're going to be selling products and services and stuff on there too. That's going to be ads then. Okay, that is ads if you're selling products on your app too. And that will eventually lead to censorship every single time.
Yep, because
Look at Twitter. Look at all these other quote unquote everything apps. As soon as you do that,
you
you
the
have
creators.
to start censoring.
You have to force the creators to tailor their content for the advertisers.
Right. Why don't they get this? I mean, you want to be Web3. That's great. I applaud you for this. But, dude, as soon as you start adding all this Web2 stuff back in there again, you're just going in the completely opposite direction.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how they jacked up Web 1. They turned it into Web 2.
Yeah.
Not that Web 1 didn't have its issues. I mean, all you can do is read and click an ad, right? The display ads or click a link.
Yeah.
It was very limited, but it was, it started out decentralized. And then, these corporations came in, the wolves came in and took over.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just want everybody to realize, like, if you have not tried an RSS app lately, please do.
Yes.
This is where it's going. Like one of my favorite RSS apps is called Podverse. It is probably the most advanced one that supports the most RSS elements in it. Actually, HiveTube, our own software, has more RSS support than pretty much any other platform out there besides Podverse. But now with our new version that's coming out very soon, hopefully next week actually, we're supporting just about every single RSS element that there is.
Nice.
So now you got episodes and just time frames. Like if you're going to go live at 4:00 on Tuesday, you can actually set that now on your live streams in HiveTube, and all those RSS feeds for all the channels that are out there will automatically pod ping everyone.
Ooh.
It's slick, man. I mean, this is
nice.
The stuff that we've added to this adds so much value to people who like to tune in to streaming media, and it makes it so simple. So now from one app, one front end, like HiveCast, you could tune into anything now. So it's just, and it's peer-to-peer, and it's also connects to the Fediverse, and it searches thousands of instances at once. And I don't know if you've ever tried the search engine on a HiveTube powered site. But man, it's incredibly powerful. I mean, if you try to do a search for like flat Earth or some kind of weird subject on YouTube, for example, you're going to get their results. You know what I mean? You're not actually getting worldwide results anymore. It's totally censored. But when you do a search for a weird subject on a platform that's powered by HiveTube, you're going to get the real, like, okay, this is the best results for what your search is.
Okay, I'm on
from multiple networks too.
I'm on CastGarden right now. Give me a weird subject to search for.
I don't know. Pick a keyword. In keyword.
Parachutes.
Parachutes. Parachutes. I gotta put parachutes. No results on parachutes. Let me check the filters.
No results.
Relevance, live videos, VODs. Do I want to display?
I didn't even mention that, the filtering. Have you ever used the filter on the search on CastGarden?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, on the top right corner, you'll see a little filter icon.
That's what I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
Let's go with long.
See, this is what's cool, man. It's because you're not just searching Hive anymore or what's on that local HiveTube powered site. You're searching all the Fediverse syndicates too. So there's really no stopping like what exactly you want to find.
I know. Oh, wow, you can filter by PeerTube instance too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pick a different one than parachutes. Let's pick Let's go with
Couldn't find
Linux.
anything.
I did Linux, and I got a bunch of Dick Turpin Roadshow.
Yeah.
And it's,
See,
let's try.
Yeah, Dick
have you
Turpin.
have you listened to his shows, man? They are
Oh
hilarious.
yes, oh yeah.
Dick Turpin, he's great, man.
The problem is they're all old shows, but they are
Yeah, I know.
timeless. They are timeless.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't really. I've tried to convince him. Come on, man, you got to start that up with the guys again.
I try to get him to do that. Oh, I posted a thing on Twitter. Was it yesterday? I think it was. It was the don't put your ads on my Web3 type thing. And he commented on there. He said, "Oh, I can't remember what he said. Coming
Oh, about
soon."
the ads?
Yeah, he said
Oh.
coming soon. Something about a laxative and take the pain away or something like that. It was hilarious. Oh, I gotta look it up now.
He's hilarious, man. Really.
He comes up with
So tell
some of the
me,
funniest stuff.
Ken, how would a person monetize their content using RSS and HiveTube, for instance?
Because we pull it into. Remember, it's federated content.
Yeah.
So what we do is we pull it in from the channels that you're subscribed to and whatever, and then we put it on the blockchain so that it can be commented on, tipped, upvoted, and whatever. And one thing that I've been pushing really hard for, but man, this is really difficult, is getting the really, really hardcore Fediverse maxis that are out there to set up a Web3 Hive account too. And I'm not a salesman, man. I'm just a dev. So it's like getting people to do anything, to click a damn button is extremely difficult.
Yes, it
So
is.
how did I, like when I first set up CastGarden, for example, how was I able to get, Todd Cochran on there of Geek News and Jay Bravo and these guys? Well, the initial emails that I sent to these guys was downplaying the whole blockchain, crypto, Web3, blah, blah, blah stuff, And I'm just saying, look, the whole point of us putting your content up there and syndicating for you is to get more eyes and ears on your work. This is the point. It doesn't cost you anything, and more people are going to be now able to interact with you who have never even heard about you before. This is why I push the syndication thing so hard. So if I can go to one app like HiveCast, for example, and tune in to different channels across thousands of streaming media sites, that's freaking powerful, man. That's not YouTube giving you the right to search YouTube. No, this is like one app giving you access to the world, like unrestrained access to whatever you feel like listening to or watching at that moment.
So how many different channels can you search through the search feature there?
As far as I know, it's unlimited. I guess it would probably be based on your bandwidth and maybe a little bit of memory at the server to cache
Gotcha.
the results. But actually, I've been thinking about automating that on HiveTube too. Like every hour, it'll go out and index the most common searches and then store that information for a little while. But it's not really necessary at this point. I'm more focused on syndication right now, making it so that anybody can use this anywhere. And
That is
RSS
awesome.
is really the only way we can do that.
Yep.
Yeah. And the cool thing about RSS is it's not something that someone controls. It's a protocol, so nobody owns it. You can't control it. Anybody can use it, right?
Exactly. It's just a text file. So if you're running your own HiveTube powered site and you have, like Vigilante TV, for example, he's got, I think, 60 something channels on his site with 60 different video creator and podcast creators that are on there. Yeah, I really don't see any limits to it, actually.
Yeah, I don't either. This is real cool. I'm sitting on there looking at this, all of this, and it's awesome.
Oh, well, we're on BTube right now.
Oh yeah, B-Tunes TV. Yeah, she's got like cartoons and stuff like that. That was actually another thing similar to CastGarden, is where getting people just to sign up for a Hive account. Once they've got the Hive account, they seem to stick around and actually like to contribute. So we're not just bringing users to Hive and then just abandoning them. I actually did a post about that recently. You know, how, oh, we're going to bring, 1,000 users to Hive and whatever and blah, 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 and completely ignore them. And yeah, it'll cost you $25 per person that we bring to Hive. But, oh yeah, that sounds like a real fucking great idea, dude. You're going to make us pay for it. And, oh, God, don't get me started on this. It's the wasting of time and money. Like, all these tools that you guys need is already out there. It's free. And, like, even remote transcoding and, you can auto-monetize it. Using MinIO, you can have distributed file system across multiple continents, which costs you almost nothing. It's just, you guys anybody who wants to stream media, get on the website on hive-tube.com. That's the HiveTube website. Especially if you're a web hosting company, you've got to start offering streaming media services.
Yep.
It's so cheap. I mean, literally for less than $80 a month, you can have a fat dedicated server. We offer servers too, by the way, but you can have a server doing all your own streaming media now, and charge a fee for that. You can have another revenue stream from offering that as a service to your hosting customers.
Exactly.
It's so simple.
That's how Web3 is supposed to work. Not with
anybody
ads.
can spin up a node. Literally anybody.
So how much is your hosting service? How much is your node service?
Dedicated servers usually cost around $75-$80 a month. That's it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, and then for about another $30 a month, we actually can do remote storage and CDN service for you too. So that basically propagates your data across all kinds of seeder nodes around the world. So that if your main network operations center ever gets taken offline, which me being as paranoid as I am all the time, tinfoil Ken, it doesn't matter, because your data is in real time being syndicated across all these other servers in real time. So it sucks getting your master server taken down, but you got all these slave nodes that are out there doing the job, just waiting to be the new master if need be.
Yeah, nice. I like how your tinfoil hat has antennas, though. That's pretty cool.
There was this guy who actually made a meme of me one time of like this vicious little kitty cat, and was something about Crazy Town or something like that. Like, yeah, I mean, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah, but I love this stuff, man. I love building stuff that really gives humanity a way out. I mean, right now is the time. We're just, I see so many people just burning money, time and money on stuff that doesn't need to be developed, because everything that you need right now to even monetize it and make your company profitable is already out there. You just got to use it. What the hell?
Yep.
That's right.
It's right there.
It's so frustrating
Right there for
sometimes.
the
It's like, I'm not trying to sell you anything. This is the thing. It's like, I don't know, like sacrificing an arm or something. Guys, what are you doing? Quit wasting time and money and just use what's out there. It works great. Your company will finally be profitable, and just you're giving people a way out of the old Web 2 system. I know people are looking, but if you just bring users to Hive and then you just dump them on the platform, and You know,
here
ooh,
you
look at
go.
all these users we got. Well, yeah, they stuck around for a few days.
Yep.
Maybe did one post or commented on somebody's post, and then that was it. They were gone.
And then they say, well, you know, they're still there. Their account's still there. It's not deleted. You know, yeah, you can't delete a Hive account.
Yeah,
It's there forever.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They go out there and create a couple of blog posts, and they get 2 votes, and they go, "See, that don't work."
yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, it doesn't work if you don't work it. You gotta be consistent in your productivity. You gotta be diligent. You gotta network. All the same things you're doing on Web 2 already.
Yeah.
You also do it on Web 3. It works if you do it right.
Yeah, I mean, you got to treat it like you're starting a business. Okay, if
Exactly.
like when Facebook came out and whatever, you got to convince all these people to leave MySpace. Well, how did they do that? A whole shitload of marketing from other people's money, of course. But why do those people stick around? Because you gave them a reason, though, a slick, easy to use UI, a user interface that people were like, oh, this isn't so bad. Okay, no, like if I'm trying to tell my grandma how to use HiveCast or something over the phone, I'm going to say, okay, do you see the big green button in the top right corner? Yeah, click that. Oh, you know what I mean? That's how simple your UI has to be. Can you explain to my grandma how to use your product in an elevator pitch, number one, so she understands it, and number two, over the phone, so she can visually be led through how to use her wallet, how to reply to somebody's post. Just simple stuff like this. Yeah, do you see right there where it says reply? Click that. Just it has to be easy, man. A lot of developers don't think enough about this, in my opinion. And I mean, over the last 30 years, we've gone through a lot of them. But most of our guys have been with us now for over 10 years. But you'll quickly learn that developers, especially the hardcore, like Eric, for example. I mean, you can't even talk to that guy hardly. He's a fucking genius. Even his kid draws robot schematics and all this. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, you can't talk to some of these developers. You give them a job doc of what exactly needs to be done. And I'm very detailed in our job doc too. So like, these guys are way smarter than me. Like, hey, you guys, this is how it needs to work, and this is how it needs to look. So developers are not designers. 99% of the time, a developer, a coder guy, has no right brain at all. He's all logic, on, off, yes, no, 0, 1, true, false, that kind of a personality,
Yep.
And so if you're not developing a product that my grandma can understand in 10 seconds, just hang it up, guys. Really. You're just, like I said, you're wasting time and money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be simple. That's one of the things that frustrates me with blockchain developers. They're so stuck on the development of the features that they forget that there's someone else out there who doesn't care about those features. What they want is a benefit.
Yeah.
And you have to make it simple for them to find that benefit. Make it easy.
You got to have a clear vision from the beginning, as clear as you can make it, a solid business and financial plan.
Yep.
And I see a lot of these projects, they really don't have a plan. Well, now we're just going to do an everything app. Well, you know what the problem with that is your app will become a clusterfuck. It will. This is how it works. Like back in '93, when I got out of the military, for example, I started on my first app back then. That app was called the Tech 9 Pro. And then it became the Tech 9 e-commerce suite, and then it became the Tech 9 e-business suite, and so on. Well, what I learned in that, geez, how many years was that? 15 years or whatever. Anyways, I ran that company for a long time. It was very successful. But one thing that I learned, and it became refactor after refactor, was if you become a yes man, your product is going to become a mess. Hey, can you add this feature? Hey, can you add that feature? Oh, yeah, let's bolt this onto it, bolt that on. It becomes a mess. And now my grandma can't use your app anymore. Yeah.
Yes, men create no customers.
Right.
There you go.
Right. So now, can you explain to your grandma where the green button is? You know, it's got so much stuff on the UI. It's just impossible to use it. I mean, how many everything apps have actually been successful? Well, WeChat was, but why did WeChat become successful?
Well, somebody
Was
pointed a
was
gun to
because
those people's heads and said, "You got to use this or else."
exactly. Yeah, this is the point. And by the way, do you want your product featured in this app or to get any visibility or discoverability via searches at all? Okay, well then you're going to pay us this and this and this. So what eventually happens is only the big pockets can afford to have their products even appear in that app.
Yep.
So it becomes just another Web 2 bidding war for the deepest pockets. You know, like what's happened to Bitcoin, for example, running a node. Oh, you want to mine some Bitcoin,
Ken.
huh?
Aren't you being anti-capitalist?
Well, hell no. Hell no.
No, I would call it
capitalist all the way, man.
I was going to say it's more capitalist than the system we got going now.
Yeah. No, I said that in a jest, but that's
yeah, I know.
the argument. Well, if you criticize the big government, big tech oligarchy, then you're anti-capitalism. Well, no, I just want a better capitalism.
Yeah.
That's what, you know.
They've made that a bad word, haven't they?
Yes.
Oh, you're a capitalist. One of those dirty capitalists. Okay, well, hippie boy, Mr. Yippie, are you? What do you do in your spare time? Do you make friendship bracelets? Yeah, good for you. Do you want to sell those and maybe get a little bit of money to pay your rent this month? Okay, well, guess what? That's capitalism. You got to make at least enough money to buy more string to make more bracelets, right?
Yep.
What happens when you're not getting any sales anymore? What happens when nobody's coming to your website anymore? What are you going to do? Are you going to say, "Oh, let's just add this. Let's just ask somebody for some money," or let's not trim any expenses, or cut the hours back on our employees or anything? No. Let's sing
Kumbaya.
Yeah, I'm kind of going off on a rant today, man. It's just like there's so much crap going on in the world. It's like nobody wants to fix it. They just want to bolt more bullshit on.
I saw this news story yesterday about some communist group that went to a Jason Aldean concert, Chicago, I think, and they held this big protest and march, and out in the parking lot while the concert's going on. So there was nobody actually in the parking lot other than them. And they were interviewing the one dude, and he's like, "Yeah, I flew out here from California," and I'm like, "So you used the capitalism to get to your communist rally in Chicago?"
Yeah, it's funny. Back in the day, many years ago, I used to go to poetry readings and read poetry because I wrote poetry and stuff. I still do sometimes, but I was really into it at this one point. And I went to listen to this guy read. He was from New York. He was a former journalist, and he was reading these poems. But he was he called himself a communist. He wanted to be a part of a system that was more honest than the journalism that he was a part of.
More honest.
Yeah. What happened was I talked the guy into trading poetry chapbooks, mine for his. So I had a capitalist transaction right there with the communists right in the middle of this coffee shop.
Oh, God.
I still laugh at that all the time.
Oh, that's unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable. That is absolutely believable.
I hear these kids nowadays, "Oh, socialism's great. I'm on Facebook." It's like, that's not what socialism is, you dumbass.
My moron.
I gotta vote for the socialist candidate. No, you don't. Just because they're on TikTok doesn't mean that's what socialism is.
Yeah.
Let's do the wrong thing over and over and over and expect change. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else you got to preach to us about, Ken?
Well, yeah. Damn it, let me tell you, boys. Yeah, I got a bit of a rant going today, huh?
Nothing wrong with that. I get that. I think HiveCast is something that we really need, to be honest. You know, it's
Here's the
a,
thing.
yeah,
Okay,
you'll
you've
say it
got all
better
these.
than I will.
Sorry, man. Okay, you've got all these streaming media sites popping up now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally hundreds of them every month that are installing HiveTube, and they're setting up their own streaming media servers. Okay, I encourage anybody to do this. Just go to hive-tube.com and install the HiveTube software. It's totally free, open source, of course. Of course. Of course. Where did that come from?
Yeah, who knows?
So, but now
Stream
what
of
you need.
consciousness from kencode.
Yeah. So instead of going to all these sites, right, to watch, whoever on YouTube and another guy on BitChute and this other guy that is only on Odyssey now and whatever, we needed a front end now to all these sites. So there's a channel that I really enjoy watching on ThreeSpeak. There's a channel that I really enjoy watching on YouTube. Okay, well, look, I don't want to go to all these different sites though.
Mm-hmm.
To just get to relax and watch a few videos tonight. So we needed a front end to all of these streaming media sites. So HiveCast is an app that we are, I don't know, about 60% overall of the way done now, maybe 70% or so now. But what I want to do is I want to get HiveCast open sourced and finished up. The UX still needs tons of work on it, but the UI is nearing completion. But I put a bunch of screenshots and mock-ups and stuff like that, and a video too on our blog. So we got 2 different blogs actually. My personal stuff I usually put on kencode on Hive, and then our business-related stuff typically is under the Agorise group. The Agorise account on Hive. But anyways, if you go to the proposals page on Hive blog or S&C or PeakD or whatever, go to the proposals page. You'll see our proposal there. It's number 274. So number 274. And that is to open source and launch HiveCast. So, of course, we would greatly appreciate your support. Just click that support button. And actually, that one's due to go live in 3 days. So get on over to the proposals page and click on 274 if you could. But this is, in my opinion, really, really needed because you got so many streaming sites popping up now. And you need a simple way of accessing all of them. I actually got my inspiration for HiveCast from Pluto TV. You guys ever heard of Pluto?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I really liked their UI better than any other, and it basically has exactly what I needed for a UI. I'm not a big fan of like reinventing the wheel. I mean, you guys know that already about me. Take something that works, like Twitter, like D-Buzz is doing with Twitter, and like what I'm doing with the Pluto TV thing now. Take something that works, that people enjoy using, has millions of users, and just copy most of it, basically. No, it sounds bad, but I mean, it is what it is, man. And then just add the stuff that we need to add, like all the the connections that need to be made to the Hive blockchain. And so that's what I've done with HiveCast, is basically just taking a proven design and make it better. So without adding a bunch of fluff either. No, can you add this feature and that feature? And that? No, I won't add those features.
I love that from a dev.
Well, better just to keep it simple, right? KISS.
Keep it focused on one major goal, and something that's going to be useful to a group of people that want it.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I've been asked about this. Well, what about reading blogs and all this kind of stuff? I'm saying no to that as well, because
it's in the name, HiveCast.
Yeah, it's not. This is more catered towards streaming media and podcasts and live streams and VODs, right? This is not for blog reading. I mean, there's plenty of apps out there for blog reading, even for Hive. I mean, S&C has a beautiful one, for example.
Yeah.
So that's already been done. And there's no reason for me to try to even compete with S&C. I mean, they've done a great job. I mean, the ability to you even have a wallet built into it. So yeah, just keep it simple. Like if I'm in the mood to sit down on the couch now and watch a video, I'm not going to open up my blog reader. No, I want all the tools that are catered towards streaming media in this app. I don't need all the ebook reader kind of stuff that you know, like in highlighting and all this kind of stuff when I'm reading a blog. You don't need any of that.
Nope.
So, yeah, I like to stay laser focused and just give people what they're asking for, and don't bloat it with a bunch of extra crap. Just don't make your app annoying.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I agree.
So, and that's anyway. So that's what we're doing with HiveCast. So yeah, check it out, guys. If you get a chance, it's proposal number 274.
Yep.
Awesome.
I got it on the screen right now.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm admiring the handiwork. Love it.
The screenshots, is that the No Degree podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought I looked.
Yeah, that's Jonah. Yeah, I forgot to mention him. He's on CastGarden too now.
Yeah.
He got his Hive account and everything all set up, and
that's kind of where I watch him at.
Yeah, me too. It's actually nice because most of the channels now that I like to watch have already been kicked off of YouTube, for various reasons. It's like if I want to watch stuff, I pretty much have to use my own products to be able to do so.
Well, there's something about eating your own dog food.
Yeah, right, there you go.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's not like anything else we've got on Hive. I mean, it is, but it's not. I mean, like you got Esensi, PeakD, and Hive Blog. They're all blogging type platforms.
Yeah.
And you got 3Speak and DTube. They're the video ones. You got the CastGarden and Ariel. They're both podcasting ones. Yeah. We used to have a music one called D-Sound, but they said they were going to rebuild and then never came back. And
yeah.
And HiveCast is something totally different. I don't think people actually really get what it is and what it can be, what the potential is of it, and why,
and how needed it actually is now.
Yeah, it's because this is something that if it was something you said you're open sourcing it, right?
Of course.
So that would mean that it could be self-hosted. So if you've got your own personal home server, you could install it on your home server, and you don't have to go out. The content comes to you.
Well, there's two different versions of HiveCast also. We've developed a web-based version and an Android and iOS version.
Right.
So, and it's super lightweight too. The mobile version doesn't even require Kotlin or Swift or any of these other languages either. We kept it all React Native, and it's just it's wicked fast. I mean, this is
cool.
This is another thing. Like, when you're planning to create a new mobile app, for example, I mean, I've been making mobile apps, so you guys know, for years. You have to think, I mean, just deciding on what language you're going to use, your primary language when developing app, is so incredibly important. I mean, Kotlin, like our Bitsy software and Pompeii and stuff like that, we did a lot of Java back in those days. And then we moved to Kotlin and stuff. But what I realized is how many React Native developers do I have at my disposal versus Kotlin developers? There's a big difference. And Swift developers, my God, if you're doing anything in blockchain and you need to find a Swift developer, forget it. At least one who's worth his weight in salt. You know what I mean? It's hard. You got to really think about this. Like, okay, have a solid business plan before you even start line one.
Right?
Any coding at all.
Hey, I just thought it's kind of the geek in me, but the HiveCast app, is it kind of like a regular podcast app where you can download
Yeah, of course.
the file and
Yeah.
save it for later?
Yeah, that's imperative. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
dude. See, if you've got it running on your own personal home server, whether it's in a standalone box or your own computer, I'm assuming that you can set up a cron job. Well, talking Linux here. If you can set it some kind of a timer to fire it up, have it go out, get all the files, download them while you're sleeping, and then when you get up in the morning, there's all your stuff ready for you to watch,
Yep.
and you don't
no
even have to get
latency.
online.
Yeah, you know why I'm so into that offline stuff too. Again, this comes back to tinfoil Ken, is because I know that our internet issues are getting worse and worse. I don't know about you guys, but my internet has just been getting more and more latent over the last year, just like dial-up speeds. Sometimes it's just brutal and so frustrating if I'm trying to
Wow.
upload stuff. But yeah, so this is the point. Like, okay, so that way in the middle of the night or whatever, yeah, it goes out and fetches those feeds and does the downloads in the middle of the night when there's way less traffic on the network. Also, so your downloads would be faster in the middle of the night and stuff too.
Oh,
But the other cool thing is the downloads are peer-to-peer, so it's also being served to you from our CDN. So, like, if Agorise ever goes away, if Agorise Group and all of us guys get run over by a truck or something, it's still there, and it's still scattered across multiple nodes. You know what I mean? And we have
nice.
multiple sysadmins too in multiple countries. So if something happens to our core guys, that's okay. It sucks, but you know what? We're not ever going back to zero ever again. So the ability to get all of that data peer-to-peer, even when you're online, of course, that's imperative. You got to have that. And you can download all the different resolutions too. So if you're downloading a VOD, a stored video, like an MP4 file or something like that, you're able to download whatever resolution you feel like downloading to. Well, give me that 4K version of that video. You know what I mean? Give it to me peer-to-peer. And if they don't have it on that particular server, then it might be out on one of the Fediverse servers somewhere. I mean, who knows? But this is absolute distributed system. I don't even like saying this decentralized because that's way overused as well.
Yes, it is.
I mean, truly distributed system here. Even we have remote transcode workers. So this is, like, why don't people use this technology? It's just, because I don't do any marketing. It's just me, just talking on a podcast.
which you should start
who's
a
my
podcast.
Marketing team and who's our CEO and blah blah blah. Like, we don't have any of that, man. It's just a bunch of geeks that
you should start a podcast.
Stuff.
You should.
I should start a podcast.
You're talking about your internet's feeling kind of. You got a good signal, but this is a better signal than you had the last time.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because you kept cutting in and out the last time.
Oh, you know why?
Yeah.
Because the kids are at the beach right now.
Oh,
Nobody's
playing games
here, man.
Yeah,
my router is like,
they're not playing Minecraft.
Yeah. No, they're not gamers. They're actually bloggers. They're on Hive all the time. They're on Like2 and
nice.
Stuff. Yeah, I love Like2, man. Have you guys used Like2 yet?
Yeah,
I haven't used it, but I know what it is.
I've actually posted 2 pictures.
Ooh.
Well, maybe 3. It was either 2 or 3. I don't remember, but my last one was a selfie, and it was because I got my new phone, an S23, and it's just, I thought, being that it's the much higher quality camera and everything, that it would make me look as pretty as everybody else that posts on Like2, but I was totally wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hate seeing myself on camera. Like if I Jonah from we were just talking about what's the name? I'm sorry, what's the name of his podcast? No Degree.
Yeah, no degree. I almost
He
said
wanted
no agenda.
to do a podcast with me. But he always insists on cameras and all this kind of stuff. It's like, man, that means I got to put a shirt on. And, I don't know, man. That's a lot of work. I like audio podcasts better. And I think really audio podcasts will stay more popular than video podcasts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, I mean, in the long term, I think you're right. People are really excited about video right now. YouTube, TikTok, and all of it. Audio, it really got started first, and it's had a slow run up, but it's really building momentum.
Yeah. Todd Cochran, he talks about this and with Rob Greenlee a lot on their podcast about, is video going to be the new standard for podcasting? And I think they both agree too that no, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's kind of a neat thing. Like, oh wow, you can see my microphone now, and like now I got to put up all these backgrounds. Like, who gives a crap, man? I mean, the cool thing about listening to an audio podcast is I can get some work done while I'm listening.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, I've been listening to podcasts since probably 2005, 2006, and they've been my primary place of getting news and opinion pieces and stuff ever since. And
really, who wants to sit and watch some old dude drool for an hour?
Yeah. But I see these, quote unquote professionally produced podcasts. Like first it was the radio stations. They just throw a couple of audio files on the website and call it a podcast, and that's not a podcast. Now you got the TV news and everything, doing her quote unquote podcast. And it's like, dude, I don't care what anybody says. The best podcasts ever are the ones where the dude is sitting in a basement next to a water heater in the middle of winter, and you can hear the furnace kick on.
Yeah. That's genuine, man.
Those are the best podcasts ever.
Yep.
It says something, totally agree. That's not my rocket ship. It's just a water heater.
It's right.
Yeah. But it's what the guy is saying that's important, and it's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I can learn something. I like to listen to stuff like that too, to audiobooks and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's just, man, that's just really where it is. You got me thinking about the online radio station stuff too. We always have music on. Especially me, like I like to listen to trance while coding because it makes my fingers move faster for some reason. But I've always got like trance going or ambient. But that way, it's like I can get more work done while this is happening. Well, it made me think back to the old radio days. I always had the radio on too. Like Bonehead, you're way better like remembering the names of the band members and stuff like that than I am. But man, like, because we talk about Dio and Metallica and this, AC/DC and all this kind of, and it's just I can't name those guys, but I can sing along with every single word that was in those songs though, because I've programmed myself with their music. It's just, this is what you need to be able to tune into radio stations again. And this is why I started calling HiveCast a tuner. And did you see that little picture of that stupid little radio that I put up there? It's like a picture of a radio with a dial on it, like a ham radio kind of, where you would tune in to an analog station. And that's how simple I want it to be for you to find a station to listen to in HiveCast. And that's why that search field that you guys were just looking at is so important. I want to be able to search the world for whatever the hell I want. It's not going to be censored. It's not going to be buried in some other feed or shadow band or whatever. No, this is actually the real results coming from multiple networks, from multiple instances.
I'm going to go search the world for kencode singing Holy Diver. That's
Yes. Ronnie is the man. Oh. I got to put some of that on after this podcast. But yeah, I freaking love Dio, man. So, anyways, but yeah, this is important, man, because I want to bring back radio too. And Bonehead, I know that you've kind of talked about it a little bit as well. You're talking about it with Flint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But man, if we can just find a live station, even if it's live stream, audio, video, whatever, it doesn't have to have video though. Like you just said, the guy sitting in the basement next to the water heater. I mean, this is the old school pirate radio.
Right.
You can play whatever the hell you want.
Right.
Let it go. Just
Yeah.
hit play and let it go.
Freedom.
Well, I need to go and set mine up right now.
He's talking about jamming while working earlier today. I've got these big studio monitors sitting here on either side of the monitors, and they're quite loud, and they're probably the best sounding speakers I've ever heard. But I'll turn on music and just crank it. 90% of the time, if it's music that I'm playing and I'm working, it's metal.
Yeah.
And the office phone rang, and I barely heard it. I'm like,
you got to put one of those flashing lights on the phone.
Yeah, but I turned it down, answered the phone, and it was the boss. He's just calling to see what was going on, and I left the music playing, but I had turned it down. Remember?
Yeah.
And my boss goes, "Are you listening to Anthrax?"
Yeah. Yeah. So what of it?
You recognize Anthrax?
Yeah. Oh, you're cooler than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm the same way, man. I like to crank it. That's actually why both my kids are metalheads too. They just grew up listening to me, and screaming. You ever see that movie, The Big Short? It's relatively new.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's in his office, got the music cranks. That's me right there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's all I got for today, guys. You got any questions about HiveCast?
That was awesome.
Yeah, I like talking about this stuff and about how to free people so they understand. Like, let's stop wasting time, guys. I mean, all the tools that you need for like really truly distributed systems that can be incentivized, automatically monetized. Everything that you need is right there. You just got to use it. That's all. It's free. It's open source. Just use it.
No, I got it.
I've got one request
Totally
for
got it.
HiveCast.
Yeah, what's that?
That when you're ready to throw out the first alpha, yes, let me know because I want to break it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm the king of breaking shit. Just ask my dad. Oh, I think I told you that story when I took his motorcycle apart that time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He knocked me right through the screen door that day. Oh fuck, I'll never forget that. He was fucking livid.
I can imagine.
Yeah, anyway. But that's how we learn, right?
Oh yeah.
You better pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll
You learn
definitely
to take that
think
motorcycle
about
apart.
I'll let you try to break it, man, and that's a good thing because then it won't break on somebody else.
Yep. That's what I do.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about this. It was great, as usual. Just a great educational session. Learned a lot. Had a few laughs, and man, I hope you get more people sign up for HiveCast. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I'd really love to get that one out the door. Seriously.
Go vote. Anybody listening, go vote for 274.
Go vote for 274.
274.
Yep. Always a good time, guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Thanks for coming on.
All right, guys.
I'm going to hit the outro music, and we'll catch you guys again next time. Be good, be safe. Never stick your finger where you wouldn't stick your face.
Oh.